Good evening, everybody. Talking about negativity, facing negativity, or sometimes escaping negativity. I guess the question comes to mind about, can we actually prevent negativity from happening in our lives? Everything that we live through in life, what really matters? What is lasting? What is permanent? You may have a status in society or in your social circles or even in whatever industry you're in. Or you might not have it, but perhaps you are striving for it, because we all can always, logically speaking, we can reason that with status comes some kind of benefits to live a better life, right? Maybe you want to have someone listen to you, someone to hear what opinions you have, so that you can have people sway more towards your goals. Throughout numerous lifetimes, that's what we have been doing. Always striving, always craving for something. Or even when it comes to our emotional needs, we might also be craving for some kind of gratification, some kind of happiness. If you just think about it for a moment, about how life is really, what are you yearning for? And what happens when you don't get what you want? And what happens when you get what you don't want? How do you react? How do you respond? How does that make you feel? Is the mind calm? Is it at peace? Or or did it make the mind feel like the world is shaking? What you don't want when it comes into, if you get what you don't want, there's a lot of things that we don't want, right? We don't want someone to manipulate us. We don't want someone to take advantage of you. You don't want someone to disrespect you. You don't want to not meet your KPI. You don't want to be retrenched. You don't want to be stagnant in your relationships, in your work, in your spiritual practice. And sometimes when we think that life is just about transcending desires, we may forget that there is also that desire to not want negativity from happening. What can we really grasp onto? What is life really about? When the Buddha said, don't crave, understand the mind, understand cravings, understand desires. But then sometimes when you begin meditating, you begin to be with yourself without any distractions outside of you. You sit for a while and all of a sudden, no, I don't want to sit anymore. I need to get up. I need to do something because that thing is important. Or it's time to rest, to go to bed, and then you go to the refrigerator and you seek happiness inside the fridge. Why do you walk to the refrigerator? Aren't you searching for happiness in the fridge? Why do you go on to browse for perhaps cat videos on Instagram or YouTube? Why do you do that? Why do you scroll through Netflix for a movie? Aren't you looking for happiness? Why do you text a friend? But then the more we try to do that, then the more you get the answer that happiness can't be found anywhere, or it can't be found in the fridge. And that's where when it's time to meditate, you kind of know that meditate, you can look within, you can find your answers within. However, if you have been swarmed or put around by your desires, you've been faced with positive things that you're chasing after and negative things that you reject, that has perhaps shaken your mind, caused it to be uneven. And then when you get onto the meditation mat, you notice, there's this thing that I don't like, there's this thing that I don't want to deal with, or there's this thing that's linked to a certain trauma, I don't want to face it. Right? And perhaps you can come up with a kind of fantasy to let's do something more tantric in just a form, do some chanting, do some movements, do some visualizations, just to avoid facing that suffering that's coming up, right? That the essence of Tantra disappears immediately. We don't want to face what's inside. We don't dare to face. Even though distraction has been cut off, we still don't want to face. Or you can go on to fantasize about something. You think, okay, I am sitting, you might think that you're sitting there mindfully contemplating of what you should do for your future so that you can have some clarity. That's again running away from what's apparent. Think about the status that you have, the way that people may look at you, people whom you share a comfortable relationship with, the way they look up to you, the way they see you. And think about the conversations you have with people. How do you expect them to listen? How do you expect them to acknowledge what you say? How do you expect them to respect you? People do find meaning in relationships. People find meaning in work as well. But what if those relationships they get taken away from you? What if the world changed and that what you enjoy doing the project gets taken away from you? And then what's left? Some people will just get a shock, like, oh, where is my meaning of life? When, what do I do next? See, all these things are transient. Anything that we try to attach to, thinking that they give us meaning, they are very transient and they're not so stable. It's not safe. It's not a safe refuge for you to grasp onto. What matters most is yourself. At the end of the day, you still got to come back to yourself. Even if you sleep with a partner, after your partner falls asleep, you're left with yourself. See? Everything just going back. And then how are you going to enter into yourself? An inward journey. This is the purpose of meditation. It is to build an understanding, to bring about a sense of acceptance through the power of your awareness and your observation. And just observe what arises and what passes. What is there? What is apparent? And what kind of struggles and difficulties you have. Simply be present to them. Perhaps there's some trauma creeping up. There's some fear of the unknown future coming up as well. And just sit there and look at it, understand it, not to try to uproot it, not to try to remove it, but to really be with it, sit through it. While you're doing that, you're actually being very conscious of your own backdrop of awareness, your own mindfulness. You are that light of mindfulness that's sitting and entering into your own mind. Now, what is the thing that actually pushes you, try to get you out of your meditation, try to push you to the fridge for happiness, or to make you fantasize about enlightenment, or try to float, or try to levitate, or try to manifest, or try to bless others? What is that thing that pushes you out? That is none other than your kilesas, your defilements. And if you can recognize that, that's where you can master it, you can overcome it. Because defilements are just there to push us out of our balance. In meditation, it's where you can really come face to face with your defilements and know that then the more you observe it, the more you notice it, the more you will realize that what's really pushing you around in life are your defilements. They are the ones that's freaking out. Your kilesas just really freaking out, screaming and shouting. So we're not here to try to fight or to combat the defilements. We're just here to sit, to look, to understand the nature of mind. Because without the mind, you cannot function. It is based on the mind where how we perceive the world is based on the mind. How we live in the world, how we make all the decisions, it's all the mind. So meditation, at the end of the day, it is mind mastery. You're here to master your mind, to be a shepherd of your mind, instead of being like sheep, to just follow blindly. All right? So do whatever preliminaries you need, and just know that, set the intention that you're coming back to yourself, you're entering into your own mind. Breathe deeply into yourself. You can let go of the day. You can drop all ideas and expectations of the future. Expectations of the future are simply attachments. As a support, you can practice any kind of energy practice, any kind of chants or mudras, just to get you into that state of balance, to bring about a sense of light and awareness into yourself, sense of kindness, sense of compassion, of acceptance. And ensuring that your breathing is slow and deep. Breathing all the way down into your abdomen. Tune into your breathing. With each inhalation, you can visualize light coming down from the universe, entering through your crown. And as you exhale, allow it to flush and to let go of whatever doesn't serve you. When you take care of your breath will take care of the energies in your body. Every time you exhale, the light will know where to go, to heal, to soften, and to expand. And as you breathe in more and more light, allowing them to flow throughout your body, some of that light spews out of you, overflowing, forming a ball of light around you. Your light of the right mindfulness that shields you from all distractions. Breathing in, light entering you. And as you breathe out, the light will flow wherever it needs to, even filling up the space and the void. Dispelling all unnecessary thinking and attachments. Brightening up and melting away areas of concern like a blessing. It is not the time to try to figure anything out or to try to change anything about your experience. This is a moment of understanding, inviting a gentle sense of loving kindness into your breathing, into that light. And also expanding your capacity of acceptance and observation. There's no right or wrong, no good or bad. If the mind is dispersed or distracted, just take note of it. If there is tiredness, then just take note of it too. There's no need to try to change anything. Taking note of your own presence. And are you really on the projects in your life? Are you all the tasks and the objectives? Are you the way people would define you? If you are, then why do people define you differently? Are you truly your achievements and your attainments? Are you solely your fears and your traumas and your sufferings? Are you just that child or that friend, colleague, student, partner? You may have answered no internally, but then why do you sometimes behave or think like you are just one of them, just one definition? Many things in life are just expectations of how one should live up to, how you want to be perceived, how you want to be listened to. It's all expectations, but do they truly define you? If you were to strip all of these away, what truly defines you? Or who are you deep down? When someone smiles at you, or when you want someone to smile at you and to see you for who you truly are, to what you truly represent, where is that coming from? What is that? What is that personality? What is that energy? When someone smiles and looks deeply at you, what do you wish for that person to see? What do you want that person to sense or to feel from your vibe. Just notice whether your mind was busy searching for an answer for the sake of answering to your expectation. Or was your mind truly seeking within to meet yourself, to know yourself without expectation, without the desire to change anything? What was it? And are you able to let go of all these desires? There is no right or wrong answer. Just observe yourself from deep within. Noticing the silence, the stillness, Now, just think about something that you look forward to, something related to freedom, to bliss, to nirvana. It could be some place in nature. There's some place that you can be completely free and open. Perhaps some kind of goal, some kind of dream that you've been working towards. And how would you experience that moment? How will you be breathing? What kind of energy will you embody? And is that comfortable, that energy? If it's really what you want, then it should be comfortable. Otherwise, just pick something else. Pick another scenario. And once you've got it, connect with it. Connect with that energy. Energy of bliss, of ease, of nirvana, of a great freedom. A satisfaction that makes you just want to dwell in that moment and not change anything or to do anything or even to plan anymore. Allow that light to brighten up your mind. Just be this energy, embody this, sit together with it. And connecting it with the practice of Dharma, both your study and practice of Dharma, of how you have actually achieved this energy. Don't forget, whatever you tried to envision was future focused. It has not really happened. But somehow the energy has awakened in you. It means it has always been inside, been within. You are not just breathing, you are not just plain old mindfulness. You have studied, you have learned, you have practiced many different topics of Dharma. It could be the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, the Four Right Efforts, the Five Powers, the Five Faculties, the 37 Factors of Awakening, the 6 or 10 paramitas, the Brahma Viharas, the different tantric practices, different archetypes, and all has led to this. Your cultivated energy, your spiritual power. Just dwell and dwell. Feel the light within you expanding outward, the aura around you thickening, galvanizing. You can continue breathing in that freedom and that ease, that bliss, the satisfaction. Nothing else matters. Only this moment matters. If you take care of this moment, the present moment, then the future will be taken care of. Even trying to heal from your past trauma is an idea rooted in the future. Let the future stay in the future. Be resolved, be firm, be ardent. Trust in your own Dharma. Remember, there is still nothing to solve, nothing to change, nothing external to figure out, other than that meditative energy of what it's made of how it has transformed your transient sense of self. Be sincere and drop deeply into it. Don't try to manifest, to heal or transform. Just dive within and pay attention to this chant.
Buddhaya Bhagavate Tariyata Om Vishuddhaya Vishuddhaya Asama Sama Samanta Vabhasas Paranagati Gahana Swabhava Vishuddhi Abhisinchatu Mam Sugata Varavachana Amerita Abhisekai Mahamantra Padai Ahara Ahara Ayu Samdarani Sodaya Sodaya Gagana Vishuddhi Usnisha Vijaya Vishuddhi Sahasra Rasmi Samjodite Sarva Tathagata Avalokani Satparamita Paripurani Sarva Tathagata Matina Sabhumi Pratisthite Sarva Tathagata Hridaya Adhisthana Adhisthita Mahamudre Vajrakaya Samhatana Vishuddhi Sarva Varana Apaya Durgati Pari Vishuddhi Pratinirvataya Ayushuddhi Samaya Adhisthite Mani Mani Mahamani Tatata Buddha Koti Parishuddhi Visputa Buddhi Shuddhi Jaya Jaya Vijaya Vijaya Smara Smara Sarva Buddha Adhisthita Shuddhi Vajri Vajragabe Vajram Bhavatu Mama Sariram Sarva Sattvanam Chakaya Pari Vishuddhi Sarva Gati Pari Shuddhi Sarva Tathagata Sinjame Sama Swasayanto Sarva Tathagata Sama Swasa Adhisthite Buddhiya Buddhiya Vibhuddhiya Vibhuddhiya Bodhaya Bodhaya Vibodhaya Vibodhaya Samanta Parishuddhe Sarva Tathagata Hridaya Adhisthana Adhisthita Mahamudre Swaha.
Whatever you have been holding, whatever dharmic, dharma energies within, you release it outwardly into the chants in the background. Allowing all your Dharma cultivated energies to fuse in with the chant, to go on expanding. And whatever parts of your whichever chakra that has been tight, you breathe out and release it into the universe, into the chants, into the vibration. The universe filled and fused by your Dharma energies can now embrace whatever suffering, whatever fears, whatever concerns you've been holding on to, dispelling them immediately. And it doesn't matter whether it's a blessing or an uprooting. It's just dispelled by light into light. As though Dharma wheels are capturing them and bouncing them into light, or windows of scriptures, of scripts, of sigils throughout the universe. Whatever gets released gets bounced onto them and dispersed into light.
Usnisha Vijaya Vishuddhe Sahasra Rasmi Samchodite Sarva Tathagata Avalokani Satparamita Paripurani Sarva Tathagata Matida Sabhumi Pratisthite Sarva Tathagata Hridaya Adhisthana Disthita Mahamudre Vajrakaya Samhatana Vishuddhe Sarva Varana Apaya Durgati Pari Vishuddhi Prati Nirvataya Ayushuddhi Samaya Adhisthite Mani Mani Mahamani Tatata Buddha Koti Parishuddhi Visputa Buddhi Shuddhi.
The more you let go, the lighter you will feel. The more you release, the more concentrated your mind will be. Whatever judgment, pains, or regrets, you release that as well. Bearing in mind that it is not just a chant that you're familiar with, but the interbeing of the universe, the chant, and all cultivated energies, all Dharma energies. It is all expanding and embracing at the same time. Releasing all desires and all grudges as well, and all expectations.
adistana distita mahamudre vajrakaya samhattana vishuddhi sarva varana apaya durgati parivishuddhi pratinirvataya ayushuddhi samaya adistite mani mani mahamani tatata buddha koti parishuddhi visputa buddhi shuddhi jaya jaya vijaya vijaya smara smara sarva buddha adistita shuddhi vajri vajragabe vajram bhavatu mama sariram sarva sattvanam chakaya parivishuddhi sarva gati
And also letting go of areas that are important to you. KPIs, money, people whom you love. Let them go. If you feel resistance, then there you have the answer. Defilement is freaking out. And thus you can release the defilement. Any craving, desires, things you like, things you do not like, things you're trying to understand, things you're trying to achieve, trying to figure out. As they appear, remember the fire meditation we did a few weeks ago. Use that fire to burn them. Or feed them into the fire.
Samaya adistite mani mani mahamani tatata buddha koti parishuddhi visputa buddhi shuddhi jaya jaya vijaya vijaya smara smara sarva buddha adistita shuddhi vajri vajragabe vajram bhavatu mama sariram sarva sattvanam chakaya parivishuddhi sarva gati parishuddhi sarva tathagata sinjame sama swasayanto sarva tathagata sama swasa adistite buddhiya buddhiya vibhuddhiya vibhuddhiya bodhaya bodhaya vibodhaya vibodhaya samanta parishuddhi sarva tathagata hridaya adistana distita mahamudre swaha. Namo Bhagavate Trilokiya Prativissistaya Buddhaya Bhagavate Tariyata Om Vishuddhaya Vishuddhaya Asama Sama Samanta Vabhasas Paranagati Gahana Swabhava Vishuddhi Abhisinchatu Mam Sugata Varavachana Amerita.
And heat travels upward endlessly, setting everything ablaze. And all scriptures and Dharma wheels continue circulating the universe, burning and swiping you and tearing your image, your body apart in the process, bursting you into 1,000 million pieces.
Parishuddhi Sarva Varana Apaya Durgati Parivishuddhi Pratinirvataya Ayushuddhi Samaya Adhisthite Mani Mani Mahamani Tata
1,000,000 shots to capture the image of scriptures, of Dharma blessings, only to disappear again. Thus let go. Offer your own life into fire, into universe. Release, drop, let go. Letting go of what's above, below, and within. Free yourself from the clutches of desires, of all mental afflictions. Completely letting go. The primordial Buddha will appear in front of you. And bring your awareness to your crown. You recite Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya as you breathe. Namo Buddhaya speeding up. The 5 Buddhas shall manifest. The Buddhas shooting out rays of light, chanting Namo Sigato, forming a beautiful lotus up in the universe. Very pure, blessed Namo Sigato. the highest, purest blessing. You rejoice in that manifestation that is beautiful in the universe. And remember, you are one with the universe. All cultivated energies, the universe, yourself, all beings is essentially one. There is no separation at all. May you dwell in freedom, peace, and joy, and touch nirvana in every moment. Going into the mudra of manifestation of Om Brum Swaha. Getting in touch with a renewed sense of enlightenment, of bliss, of tranquility, of total freedom that you have meditated upon earlier on. There is the sense sitting right here in purity without any desires for you reach the final goal. There's nothing else to strive for, nothing else to crave. The Namo Sigado Lotus from the 5 Buddhas that are still out there in the universe. And you know there's no separation. It is beautiful as it is. Once you're ready, go Om Brum Swaha and begin to connect to the universe. Bring it down. You know the cue. With your own purity, you may visit the world of your ego, the world of your defilements, without any judgment, manifest blessings towards their concern, the concerns of your ego and defilements. Just Namo Sigato, shining light to them. Or whatever mudras you need to do, you need to perform. And just know that those are not you. Has nothing to do with you. Those are just mirages created by the ego. No past, no present, no future. With the disappearing of all desires and attachments, the saint can dwell in Vana, completely free, a limitless mind that is clear and bright like the full moon. That is a beautiful mind on its own that beautifies the entire world and only illuminates that which is worthy of attention. And when the moon goes to sleep, the sun will emerge again and brighten up the entire world. Namo Sigato. Send out your merits. So it's not so much about, it's about letting go, right? We talk about renunciation. Renunciation is one of the paramitas, one of the perfections leading to enlightenment. It's about letting go of it in your mind. As Ken suggested, we're not monastics, we're not planning to become monastics, right? But to really let go, to think about letting go of it, right, is to see how your mind reacts to it. Why do you actually need your money? Why do you actually need your status? Because the beggar seems to be living happily. The homeless seems to be happy as well. Why are some homeless people happier than us? Why are some people living in very poor countries of deep poverty that they have to scavenge for food? They have to go to the river to get water and then make their own filtration system. How come they can be happy? That is the question. Because if you are determining your worth on social standing, social status, and money, then something wrong somewhere, right? Is that supposed to bring you happiness? It's supposed to bring you some kind of comfort. But how much are you actually clinging onto them? Because clinging onto them can bring about some kind of suffering. And if that is going to determine your worth, then big problem. Really big problem. That becomes an image issue. So when you can just let go, when in the meditation, I know some of you phase out when I gave the instruction, to let go. If you feel that the mind comes and justify why you shouldn't let go, and there you've got it, That is the defilement. There is Mara, is there. Say, no, 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 you need this. No, when the Buddha got into very deep meditation, and then he realized that, oh, this is not nirvana. He has not found the answer. Mara came and said, no, no, Buddha, very good already. You've attained the high jhana stages. This is very good. This is perfect. That's what Mara came to tell the Buddha. The Buddha said, no, Mara, I see you. So you can practice that mantra when you notice Mara coming up, creeping up. You can say, Mara, I see you. Why do you need me to cling? Why do you need to develop attachment to these things? Because when you're attached to something or someone or an idea, it also means that you put in all your energy or dedicate so much of your life force to protect it, to sustain it. And is your life force meant to be directed into protecting something that is so impermanent? How you're all spiritual cultivators. When you know about life force, you know about your primordial chi, you know how easy it is to lose it. You know how hard, how long it takes for you to even learn how to balance it, lest to even harness it. And are you going to dedicate that? Because in the Chinese, you have the Jing Qi Shen. It's all linked. If you're Shen, it's all focused on material or worldly achievements that you have to protect, you have to die for it, you have to lose your sleep for it, you have to give so much to it. Is that worth it? I'm not saying give up your careers. I'm saying understand your relationship with these things. Does that really mean who you are? Do people in do your colleagues see you for who you are? Or do they see you for your status and your knowledge? I would say they don't. Otherwise, you have married your colleagues. That's why you come to this community. That's why you have good friends. Then maybe outside this community, that's why you have your partner, your life partner. So it's about letting go of the clinging, that attachment, understanding those relationships, and that you could build a relationship with yourself. To reconnect with yourself. And that's it. Of course, you will see some spiritual cultivators, they can say, oh, I wear an expensive watch and I have a lot of rings in my hands because they're meant for puja and I have no attachment to that. Some gurus will say that. So if you see such a guru and say, oh, I'm just doing this, I got an attachment, then you just pass the guru a bag of. So you can ask the guru, can you eat salt and not be attached to it? The guru say, yeah, pass me salt. Then you pass the guru a sack of salt. Say, finish the salt and don't get attached to it. Try that, Right. What I'm trying to say here is that it's most important, it's about not to find an enlightened image outside of you, but to find your own enlightened image. What is awakening to you? And how can you get in touch? How can you tune in to your own awakening energy that comes from your cultivation? And from there, how can you notice Mara as Mara arises? Because I hope that we don't go and lose our sleep or think too much based on things that we're attached to, draining ourselves for no particular reason. And sometimes when you get drained, your chi gets weakened, and that's where self-doubt will come in. That's where pains from the past can even creep in as well. Imagined fear can come in. And that's where humanity begins to get lost. Trying to cling on to somewhere for meaning, trying to fix something without even know what's the cause of the problem or why these problems were being created in the first place. That's called losing touch. That's why, back to the start when I said meditation is about you returning to yourself, connecting deeply with yourself. It's just these two things you need to follow. Your awakened, cultivated energy, and just looking at Mara, noticing when Mara comes in. That's all. That's all you need to do. In meditation, when you can realize that, then when you get spun back into the real world, into your working world, that's where you can remain mindful as well. So yes, I'm just doing what I'm doing to make a living, I've dedicated my education to it, my time to it, then I should make the best out of it. That's it. To be accountable for your material life. That is fair. But your material life, your goals, sometimes they might not be aligned to your spiritual goals or values. And that's to say that you can return to your spiritual self in that moment and notice it. And just be aware what you are doing. And don't let it get too much into your head, into your system. That's all. So that's where you can find that balance of the spiritual life and the material life. Right? If it makes sense. Carry your spiritual self with you, rather than carry your material life into everywhere, into everything in your life. Choose one. All right? Good night, everyone. Thank you.